mother and daughter became stronger. They were totally dedicated to the traditional form of Catholicism that Henry had abolished.
Right at the centre of Mary's life was a drama. It's called the Mass. It's a drama of light and colour and Latin and music, and at the heart of it you make God on a table out of bread and wine. And for Mary, that was absolutely central.
When Catherine's health began to deteriorate, Mary was banished from her realm. Catherine died in 1536 without ever seeing her daughter again. Mary finally signed her father's act of succession in the same year, but she didn't hide her hatred of Anne Boleyn. If Mary is pushed aside by Anne Boleyn, there's no doubt about that. She would have regarded, as her mother regarded Anne Boleyn, as what the Spanish ambassador always calls Anne Boleyn, which is the whore.
She was very obstinate, very difficult. I mean, that comes out very clearly in her conflict with her father and in her relations with Anne Boleyn. What you see is what you get, and pretty rough it is too when she's in that mood.
Now in her early 20s, the constant psychological strain began to take its toll on Mary's health.
It's a period of enormous stress for her. I mean, she has menstrual problems anyway, almost from the word go, and they get very much worse.
But disfavour with her father led Mary to live in fear of her life.
There are rumours in 1534 and 1535 of Mary's execution. The rumours are circulating amongst the ambassadors and amongst Mary's support network at court. Certainly Mary has a profound fear of being poisoned, and this fear never really leaves her.
Mary's fragile physical and mental state took a further blow when Henry finally had a child with his fourth wife, Jane Seymour, in 1537.
Henry VIII at last has his long-looked-for male heir, and there is tremendous rejoicing at court, and there's tremendous rejoicing all over England as well. Hogsheads of wine are broken open at market crosses and in parish churches. People celebrate, people set off fireworks and bonfires.
With his male heir in place, Henry VIII decided to rewrite the succession.
Obviously, the person who would succeed would be his son, but what would happen after that? Well, he did have these two bastard daughters, Mary and Elizabeth, and so Henry decided he'd get the succession tidied up in the order: Edward first, then Mary, then Elizabeth.
Henry VIII died in 1547, when Mary was 34. Her brother Edward became king at the age of 9, under the protection of Protestant advisors.
He's a young, healthy, vigorous prince, but he's also a convinced Protestant. He's a serious evangelical. He is far, far more Protestant than Henry VIII has ever been.
I think Mary is drastically shocked by the direction that Edwardian religious policy takes. Churches are being whitewashed, statues and stained glass windows are being taken out, Protestant doctrines being officially preached in the church, and the Mass is replaced with a service in English, and it's that sparks Mary's really conspicuous disobedience to the government of her young brother.
Joining Edward's reign, I think she must have felt that this was it. There was no future, and there would be no chance that her beloved world, her religion, anything would survive the entire Protestant revolution which Edward was carrying out.
The years of stress and illness had turned Mary into a pale, bitter woman. Her faith became her obsession. On several occasions, Edward sent deputations to persuade Mary to accept his new religion. Sticking to her religious principles, she refused to bow to her younger brother's demands.
The Mass, sacrament of the altar, is central to her personal faith, and it's Edward's council, it's the heretics who try to get rid of that. That is why she hates heretics.
Her stand was supported by the Spanish monarch, who were burning Protestants at the stake for rejecting Catholicism. But in England, these heretics were in power. There seemed no chance of returning to the Catholic faith while her brother was on the throne. Edward suddenly became ill in 1553, and the royal succession was again thrown into chaos.
As Edward is lying dying, he is fully aware that he is facing a crisis. It looks strongly as if the only option for his succession is for Mary to come to the throne. Mary, as we know, has battled against Edward to retain the mass in her own household. So this pious little Protestant evangelical king is faced with all his work being undone, the temple being rent asunder, Catholicism returning to England. And so he inaugurates a plot.
Edward's advisors proposed Mary's Protestant cousin, Lady Jane Grey, as heir to the throne. Supported by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cranmer, Lady Jane ruled for only 9 days before Mary, who had won the support of London,